finally know why I can't get an answer. I finally know why I feel like a number. They keep a secret into their mind. They never document for telling lies. Make me feel at least like a monster. Make me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can't find a place to go. There's a world of things I'll never know. 'Cause everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. Can anyone just tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not a stranger tonight? I finally know why I can't look further. I finally know why the tongues speak louder. There is a secret that won't be mine. They never talk until the end of time. Make me feel at least like a monster. Make me feel at least like a fire. It seems I can't find a place to go. There's a world of things I'll never know. 'Cause everywhere I go, there's nowhere I belong. Can anyone just tell me where will I find? 'Cause everywhere I go, I'm always on my own. Can anyone just catch me before I drown? Can anybody make me feel like I'm not a stranger tonight? Hey, why should I run away?
What is going on, Jets Nation? Welcome to another edition of Weapons Hot Mission Briefs here on Jets World. I'm your host, CJ the Painkiller D. Simone, and I would like to bring in and introduce really quick our producer for tonight's show. Good friend of the show, good friend of Jets World. He is the man, the myth, the legend, the straw that stirs the drink. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Garen Brower.
Yes, sir. Thank you, CJ. I've been waiting for
Good, my brother.
I've been waiting for that intro. Finally, I got my intro. There we go, man. I'm glad to be here. Glad to help you out, man. And yeah, let's get this thing rolling.
Absolutely, my man. I mean, we got a couple of things that we really need to talk about tonight. I mean, obviously, I do want to give a shout out to Jets Wire. They did have a what you call it? Yes, Natasha Leshup in the chat.
CJ.
What's good, Carly? Turn it in. All right. Robert Saleh and crew are not going to be attending the scouting combine. It looks like Joe Douglas and his scouting department is going to be doing all the heavy lifting down there. Robert Saleh is, in fact, going to be conducting player interviews, so on and so forth, via virtual means, so like Zoom and all that good stuff. So, is this really a big deal that Saleh's not going to be there at the combine? Probably not. Probably not, because you know what? The man who's got to be there, Joe Douglas and his scouting department, that is going to be interesting to see because they're going to have a lot of work to do for the underwear. It kicked off today. Today's the 1st of March. Free agency starts March 16th, exactly 15 days from today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. We are going to be seeing a shitload of free agent signings, and it is going to be awesome. We will finally get to see the shiny new toys that are out there. We'll finally get to see a bunch of different people who may or may not become New York Jets. Got a couple of free agents that we are going to talk about tonight, especially in different positions of need. We talked about the offensive line. Jets still need help on the offensive line. It is simply not good enough to protect Zach Wilson and to help him get the ball to his weapons out there. Offensive line definitely needs some upgrades. Still some questions surrounding Mekhi Becton and his health. There's been various rumors going around about what exactly is transpiring with Mekhi Becton and his health. And no one really seems to know exactly what what the story is in regards to Mekhi Becton. One of the things that we did learn is that we learned that he does now have a new nutritionist. During the rehab process, Robert Saleh alluded to that because of how large of a man he is, that the rehab process did not go as they hoped that it would go. Well, hey, things happen. It is what it is. But you know what? One of the things that they're going to need to do is they're going to need to make sure that Mekhi Becton is, in fact, going to be 100% going into training camp, going into OTAs, etc., for 2022, because he's going to be a key part of that offensive line right there next to Elijah Vera Tucker. Even though I know George Fant did a tremendous job, there could be the possibility of them swapping, maybe keeping George Fant at left tackle, maybe moving Mekhi Becton over to right tackle. That could be a possibility. Still remains to be seen. We still have a long way to go. Free agency hasn't started. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of rumors, a lot of people that may or may not have some opinions on free agency. If you guys are out there in the chat, you guys are watching, pop your questions in. Any topic tonight that you want me to cover, any questions that you guys want me to talk about, by all means, pop it in the chat. JR's in the house tonight, helping out the painkiller. We're going to be talking some free agency. 2 weeks until this shit gets rolling. I mean, hey, it's now's the time where we put down the mock drafts for a second. We could put down the clickbait articles, and we really are going to start seeing some articles of substance start heading down the pipeline. Because now, if you think about it, there's going to be a lot of different stories, a lot of different names going to be attached to the New York Jets. Who are the New York Jets interested in? They're looking to acquire a veteran, okay? Quarterback situation. Your only quarterback that's under contract right now is Zach Wilson. Are you going to bring Joe Flacco back? Are you going to re-sign Mike White? So, Unique Islam in the chat, great question. Who is the guy that you'd go after first in free agency? Well, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. I would still address the offensive line, not only in free agency, but also in the draft. And I just so happen to have, courtesy of SportTrack.com, some free agents that are going to be hitting the market. Okay? Now,
Burnish.
The top two guys, I can tell you right now that you're going to stay away from. And you're going to stay away from these guys at all costs. You're staying away from Brandon Scherff. You're staying away from Nate Solder. Now, a lot of people, and JR, I'm kind of curious about your thoughts. A lot of people last year were hot and heavy. They were all on the Brandon Scherff bandwagon. JD, make a trade. Make a trade. Go get Brandon Scherff. What do you think? Do you think the Jets should still take a flyer on him or what?
No, I do not. I agree with you. Yeah, let him go. I'd rather build the line through the draft. Like, I'm big on drafting an offensive lineman this first round, so I would stay away with him. Stay away.
You know, just another thing, too, that really just, like, it really gives me cause for pause, all right, is every time there is some sort of a sexy name out there, the New York Jets are constantly attached to that sexy name. And I don't want any part of the sexy name because I don't know if you guys caught last Friday's episode of Weapons Hot on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, but I pretty much unloaded on how I feel about the New York Jets and free agency and the New York Jets organization when it comes to free agency. And how I think that the fan base really, in all seriousness, needs to take a major step back and take everything that they read or they hear with a grain of salt. Because the New York Jets have gotten burned by spending big money to bring big money free agents in here. I get it. We're going to end up having to overpay guys to come here. The jet tax, right? Because the Jets suck. Come and play here. Nobody wants to come and play with a franchise that's 4-13 or in perpetual 5-11 or 4-12 hell, right? Last 10-6 season was when Todd Bowles was head coach. All right? We haven't seen a winning season since. So now, Scott Cleesby, glad you found your way into the chat because we need all the talent we can find. We do. We do. But I know, Scott, your next comment is going to be, so let's go sign 30 guys to one-year prove-it deals so we could just turn over the roster again tomorrow because that worked great over the past couple of years that we did it. I know the comment is coming. But here's the thing. The reason why the Joe Douglas does that, okay, he doesn't do it because he just doesn't feel like being tight. He doesn't feel like opening the purse strings or being cheap with the money. He's doing it because he sees the New York Jets history. He's seen what has happened to the New York Jets in the past. You pay big money to a free agent, they come here and they don't live up to the contract. They come here and they completely shit the bed. Or as I like to say, they tap out. They got paid, they got their contract, so why should I fucking break my ass? I love that. You forgot asking for a friend. I think you and I both know who that friend is, Scotty. Oh, man. But nevertheless, I digress. You know, the Jets have been burned. They've had other potential free agents come here, use the Jets because the Jets were prepared to offer a big money contract, and then use the Jets as leverage to go someplace else and get a contract someplace else. Kirk Cousins did it. Anthony Barr did it. A number of other players. Donta Hightower did it. You know, there's a number of players that will come to the New York Jets organization, and they know that the team is desperate. They know the franchise is desperate for star power. So, yeah, there is going to be that particular spot where they may, in fact, overpay. And it's frustrating because it shouldn't be like that. But the unfortunate thing is that it is. And because it's like that, it's so frustrating. It's frustrating not only for the franchise, but also for the fan base. Because the fan base gets excited about the potential of bringing a star player here and the talent that they have that could, in fact, inject some life into this football team. And it turns out to just be a big fucking prank. It does. So we saw that happen a lot with Mike Maccagnan. Joe Douglas has gotten to the point where he's not going to be bent over a barrel. He's not going to allow the New York Jets to be used in that manner. Exactly, Matthias. You have to win in order to stop it. But here's the thing. You also got to have guys that are going to want to come to this franchise and are going to play their asses off to help build, create, and sustain a winning culture. And it takes, unfortunately, those one-year prove-it deals. Those guys that are hungry, those unrestricted free agents that they may bring in, you know, and they say, you know what, we could go and we could bring in 10 unrestricted free agents, and they'll work 100 times harder than a guy we could spend $50 million on. And that's exactly what the Jets want. They want guys that are going to come in, they're going to be hungry, they're going to want it. They know that there's work. And they're going to have to put in the work in order to turn this franchise around. And it's not just Joe Douglas' responsibility. It's Robert Saleh's responsibility. It's the coaching staff's responsibility. It's the scouting department's responsibility. But it's also the 53-man roster. You have to play like your life fucking depended on it. Now, Matthias, I like this comment over here. You have to pay your own. Joe Douglas has already shown that if you play your ass off for the New York Jets, you play your ass off for this organization, then we're going to reward you. John Franklin Myers is the example. Mind you, a lot of people will say, well, CJ, that's only one contract. Who else on this contract do you think has warranted a second contract? Stop yourself, because I know exactly what's going to happen. Braxton Berrios, right? So Scott Cleese in the chair there. Then next year we only gave them a 1-year deal. We'll have to do it all over another 29 free agents. Here's the thing, though, Scotty. When you bring in these 1-year prove-it deal guys, these grinder guys, some people like to call it bargain bin shots, all right? But these guys, when they come in, they're hungry and they want to play. They want an opportunity to show that they're relevant and they belong on an NFL squad. And if the Jets give them the opportunity and they come and they play their asses off and they contribute, that there is a very good chance that Joe Douglas is going to extend to them a second offer. He's not just going to let them walk. All right? Now, mind you, Joe Douglas has been a victim of his own success in regards to contracts. Let me explain to you what I mean about that. Joe Douglas is not going to overpay for mediocre talent. So, hence, we bring up Braxton Berrios, right? Because this is a hot button topic right now with the fan base. Some fans feel like that he's worth the $9 million that he's asking for. Some fans feel like he's worth less than the $9 million he's asking for. Here's the thing. You got to learn to meet them in the middle. And there has to be some flexibility, not only on the player's part, but also on the franchise's part to be able to work with them. So if Berrios is asking for 9 and the Jets come to him with 7, which I think is a fair deal, maybe you sweeten the pot and you go 7.5. Front load the contract. No reason why you can't get a deal done, 3-year, $24 million contract, 12 guaranteed. Okay? Now, for me, Matthias, you're right along the line where I'm thinking, where I think $7 million, like for me, I had said like a 3-year, $21 million, 3 years, $21 million, $12 million guaranteed. Put a shitload of incentives up there that could maybe balloon up to 23. I think that's more than fair for a guy who's come in and who's done everything that you've asked him to do and then some. So that's just my opinion. All right. Scott's in there, but now that they've proven it, you don't think they aren't going to a winning team. It depends. It depends, Scott, because you know what? Players that have been free agents from this team that maybe found their way onto other NFL rosters just within the last year have come out and publicly said that the Jets are building something and they're very happy to be a part of it. But we all know this is a business. You even said it yourself. You have said that players have one shot in this league to get paid. When you have an opportunity to get paid, you're going to take it. It doesn't matter who it's with. Joe Douglas wants guys that are, you know what? You're going to come here and you're going to play your ass off. Come here and play your ass off. If you're willing to work in the mud, then we will put you up in the clouds. I don't think that is unreasonable. I don't think that that's an unreasonable request, considering that players will take pay cuts to go to winning organizations like the Baltimore Ravens, like the New England Patriots, like the Pittsburgh Steelers, like the Kansas City Chiefs, the San Francisco 49ers, the Green Bay Packers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Any team that has made it into the playoffs in the last 5 years, players would be willing to take a pay cut to go to said franchise because they know they're going to be in a winning franchise. Stop it. Will everyone please stop? These players only have a few years to get paid. They aren't staying if another team offers war. I just got finished saying that. Football's a business, okay? Guys want to stay? Last time we checked, are we a winning organization? No, we're not. That's why players are going to come here. They're going to take that 1-year deal, and they may or may not end up going someplace else. It's the nature of the business, Scott. It's the nature of the business. When you've been circling the drain for the past decade because of 3 different GMs, we're now on our 3rd GM. Okay, actually, technically, we're on our 4th GM. Okay, in the past 10 years. Okay, when you've been circling the drain for almost a decade, it's hard for you to procure talent. And the reason being is because that talent is only going to want to go to a winning organization. The Jets have had 2 rebuilds in succession, now on number 3. Yeah, let's call it what it is. Idzik's regime, tear down. He didn't know what he was doing. Tannenbaum was a win now, cashed all his chips in. And when we shot our load and we couldn't make the best of it, guess what? It didn't happen. All right? Florencio Rodriguez. All right, I like that. 3-year, 12 million, all guaranteed. He's a third, fourth option. I agree. I don't know if he'll go for that. I don't know if you go for that. But this is, again, why you build through the draft. This is the comment of the night right now, Matthias Simon. Congratulations. JR, I wish we had an applause clip, man. If we
I'll tell you.
Clip, I totally would be like, this is the clip, this is the comment of the night. Play some applause for that person because that person deserves some fucking applause.
Hey, well, I did something better. I pinned his comment to the top, so I put a little star beside it. So you got a star there, Mathis.
That's all good. I like that. I like that right there. All right. So this is why it's important to have solid drafting and you supplement with free agency. But instead, for years, what has the New York Jets done? They have tried to shoot their load in free agency, and then you try to sprinkle in a few draft picks and then hope they actually emerge for something. Unique Islam in the chat. Thank you again for tuning in. Unpopular opinion. I want Braxton Berrios back. However, I don't think we should break the bank for him. I don't think you're going to have to break the bank for him, to be honest with you. I really don't think that another team is going to pay anywhere above $10 million for what could possibly be the third or fourth option on your football team. I just don't think so. I just don't. I just don't think it. Scott back in the comment again. The only thing different between this team and the teams of the early 90s is that they would give long-term deals for old players and middle-of-the-road players, which is what we've gotten burned by. Now we've learned we only give one-year deals for the same type of players. Yes and no. Players on the downslope of their career, they're come in and they're actually brought in to be role players, which I think is what, the Jets are doing. Hate to say, Florencio in the chat, I love this one too. Hate to say it, but JD needs to open his wallet this offseason because people aren't jumping up and down to come to the Jets yet. Very true. Very true. But
I don't see no free agents worth breaking. You know what I mean? I don't see nobody sexy out there. I mean, Devontae Adams, yeah. You know what I mean? I'd skip on the free agency. Find something cheap little deal.
Well, I tell you something. I am like in regards to free agency. Like for me, go out, get me a bona fide number one wide receiver. Altoon would get a 3-year deal. Ha ha. Listen, Carl, I'll take Altoon in his prime. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And some team might overpay. One of the biggest
True.
things that a lot of people are worried about, everyone's like, oh, well, I'm afraid that he's going to go. I'm afraid that he's going to go to the Patriots. There could be a possibility. But look, we can't be afraid of that. Like, I'm not going to go sign Braxton Berrios to a 3-year, $45 million contract because I'm afraid he's going to end up on the Patriots. After all, not for anything, he was on the Patriots at one time. He was on their practice squad. He got cut. The Jets picked him up, and he had his opportunity here. So, because Leonard Williams and Ronnie Lott were great Jets. Oh my God, Scott, you make my head hurt. Sometimes you really do. Oh man. If we draft a wide receiver in the third round, that could be a returner as well as be cheaper. But him and Zach are good friends. You got to keep Zach happy. This is why I think Ray. Thank you again for the comment. I absolutely love this comment, and I'm totally on board with what you're thinking. And the reason being is because I really don't think you're going to have to break the bank to get Braxton Berrios. I think a lot of this hubbub is I think his dad is his agent, and he's trying to talk up his son like he deserves 10 to 12 million a year, and like they won't settle for anything less than 9. I think when you cut down to brass tacks, I really think 3 years, 21 million, 12 million guaranteed, incentivize it where he could possibly make up to 23 million. We'll get the job done. We call it a day, and we move on to the next 50,000 problems we're going to have to fucking solve. I really do. Because right now, the New York Jets need a bona fide number 1 receiver. And whether we acquire one by trade or whether we sign one out of free agency, Corey Davis is not the answer, guys.
No. Yeah.
So, Matthias Simon again in the chat there. I want to get that one back up there if you don't mind there, brother.
Let's back up.
This year, the Jets have a load of money. Use it wisely. Get proven players. You will overpay for now. True. Plus, on top of it, as I've said before, this offseason is probably one of the most critical off seasons that the New York Jets have because of the amount of cap space that we have, because of the amount of draft capital that we have. If Joe Douglas plays his cards right and he pushes the right buttons, we do have an opportunity to accelerate the rebuild. We do. But, again, things have to happen in a specific order in order for that to happen. And let's not count. Mind you, this is all on paper, okay? It regardless of who it is that we bring in, they all need to be healthy. They all need to get to a training camp. They need to get to a preseason. And they need to get into the regular season. And they need to go deep into the regular season. Because the Jets last year had almost 60% of their free agent payroll on injured reserve last year. You're not going to win very many games like that. He's more than a number 3 or 4 receiver. He's the all-pro returning. Yes, we can get CJ to return for us on the cheap, but how many less yards is he going to get for us? Scott.
And
Wait a second. You know what we're going to do, Scott? I'm going to put you on the spot. What's a contract you think is fair? Type it in the chat and we'll get it up there, and then I'll answer your question after. All right. Carl Falk up in the chat over here. I want to get this one up here. All you guys except for CJ poo-pooed my suggestion to go get Allen Robinson. Go get it. You want to know something? I would still take a flyer on Allen Robinson right now because last year they were looking to see if he was going to get released. He ended up getting the franchise tag, and I don't know why they stood clear of it. I don't know why, but if you can get me an Allen Robinson, he's not exactly your number 1. But he does take pressure off of Corey Davis. I'll take that. I'll take that.
So you would take him over Braxton?
No, I want. Dude, I'm fucking greedy. I want.
Okay.
Fucking resign. If it were up to me, 3 years, 21 million, 12 million guaranteed, incentivize it up to 23, sign on the dotted line, get it fucking done, and let's keep it moving. I don't understand why this is so fucking difficult.
Here we go. Scott's got it up.
8.25 a year for 3 years, 15 million. You know what? I would do that. I would do that contract, Scott. No doubt. Bravo. You actually use the cells you have left in your head that's still there. So, rather him than give a 2 for Ridley. You know what, Ray? I'm in agreement with that, but not for the reasons that you would think. I'm in agreement with not acquiring Calvin Ridley only because of the fact that I want to make sure that his head and his heart is actually still on football. Now, mind you, this was something else that I talked about on Friday night's Weapon Todd on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, was the fact that he took time off to address his mental health. And I love nothing more than a mentally and physically healthy Calvin Ridley suiting up for green and white. But here's the thing. He has to be 100% committed if I'm going to give up significant draft capital to get him. Which means he can't come here and play 3-4 games and say, I'm depressed or have a relapse or decompensate. We can't have that. He needs to be 110% committed to the game of football, to being here for the New York Jets and being a part of this rebuild to get us back into NFL relevancy. Then
I wouldn't chance it.
Right. So, all right, let's keep going with these comments. Again, thank you everyone in the comments who's hitting up there. Thomas Gutman, thank you again for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you so much. Robinson, 1 year, earn your next contract because he's a veteran and one player away from injury. I agree. I would give him a 1 year show me deal though. But here's the answer to that. One player isn't one player away from injury. Or do you mean because he was injured earlier in his career? You know what? Even though he was injured earlier in his career, Carl, and I'm glad you brought this up. Thank you again for bringing this up. Even though he was injured earlier in his career, he was still productive. You know, he still bounced back from the injury. He may not have had the kind of numbers that he probably would have had he been 100% healthy, but also keep in mind who he had throwing him the ball. You know? So, you know, just my opinion. Scott, back in there. All I'm saying about Risley is he couldn't handle it. Atlanta, please explain to me how he's going to handle New York. Yeah, I agree, which is the reason why if you are going to what's the word I'm looking for? Especially coming back from dealing with your mental health. You are now coming into the Mecca, into a fan base where that could absolutely drive you crazy. You thought you were being driven crazy in Atlanta. New York could be Atlanta on steroids. So again, this is exactly where you kind of have to, where is your head's at? What are your thoughts, etc. What do you guys feel about Dallas Cooper, wide receiver, free agent? Amari Cooper is somebody who I have my eye on. The only thing that worries me about him, though, is that he's got the same thing with Percy Harvin, issues with migraines. If he's found a treatment program to keep those under control, then yeah, you bring him in, and it's not even a fucking question.
Hey, CJ.
What's up there, JR? Talk to me.
Have you ever been down to Atlanta before?
I've driven through Atlanta.
And I'll tell you what, that traffic's pretty stressful, man. It's pretty stressful.
Dude, listen, bumper to bumper traffic on a 7-lane fucking superhighway. Yeah, dude. I mean, when I was driving through there, me, the missus, and my son, and a couple other people, we had rented a cabin up in Georgia, and we were in LJ, and having to drive through Atlanta in order to get to LJ, dude, is fucking crazy. Holy shit. It was fucking crazy. Much more in the chat. Thank you again for tuning in tonight. Appreciate you, my brother. Are we sure it's the Falcons fans and the media hindering Ridley? If I'm not mistaken, he played well his last full season. I agree. But there had to be something that made him want to step away to work on his mental health. I mean, listen, kudos to the man, because you know what? He stepped away, and he admitted that he needed help, and he got the help that he needed. And let's see where the chips fall where they may. We talked about Amari Cooper already. Ray Burgess over there has an interesting slot right there. Maybe Ridley for a conditional 3 if he pans out, turns into a 2 into 2023. Ray Burgess, you may be on to something, my friend. This might be the second best comment of the night. Definitely. JR, real quick, before we get to Carl Falk's comment over there about in regards to Allen Robinson, what are your thoughts on it? Put that deal back up there for me for a second.
Which one?
The one from Ray Burgess, timestamp 8:08 p.m. Maybe Ridley for a conditional 3 if he pans out.
Oh, okay. There we go.
In 2023, what are your thoughts? What say you, my friend? I'm curious.
I'm just an average fan. I don't got this knowledge like y'all. So what are you asking me? Are you asking me on Ray's comment?
Right. What do you think?
Oh yeah, I would definitely do that.
Okay.
Wouldn't you? Would you take the chance? I'd take the chance on that. And like Lowell said, he had a solid year his last seasons. Or
Yes, I do agree. You know what? I think I might. If I could get that kind of a deal, I would. Atlanta Mercedes-Benz Stadium is incredible. We flew in and stayed at the Westin, and just a train ride.
Hey! Look at Scott. Your boy Scott's back at it.
Scott, you have no testicles. I mean, I have no knowledge. So, if I have no knowledge, you should do a podcast. The problem is nobody wants to listen to your ugly mug. You
gotta have the haters, man. That makes the show good.
Wait. He's got another one over here. For the love of God, I'll buy him a case of ibuprofen.
Where is that? How did I miss that?
That's right there.
How did I miss that?
Dude, you gotta put that up there. You gotta put
I'm
that
trying
up
to
there
find.
before I address Ray's comment there. I'll buy him a case of ibuprofen. Go get yourself some Nurtec Goat tea, my friend. Spoken from your friendly neighborhood pharmacy technician. All right. So let's go to Florian Rodriguez's comment over here. We are already giving Davis close to top wide receiver money. We have more in and one more starter in the draft. We have more holes to plug. Absolutely. But the thing is that we still need that one. We don't have that one certifiable threat besides Elijah Moore and Corey Davis that can really open up his offense. Clisby tunes in every week just to disagree. Rich Moore, shots fired, my friend. I love it. Love it. Bring it. This is what Weapon Top Mission Briefs is all about. This is about shooting it. This is about putting the thoughts out there. All right. So, all right. I want to get to Ray Burgess's comment. We've had this up there twice.
Which one?
Kind of like Ben Simmons. Ridley plays with Mahomes. No more issues. You know what? Yeah, dude. I think. Yeah. That's kind of a good comparison. But you know what? You could also make that same comparison with Allen Robinson too. I know Carl Falk could actually appreciate that because, listen, I like Allen Robinson, but I think that if you could bring him in here, you know, if he definitely can help out, why not? Why not bring him in here and see what he's got in the tank? All right. So, Matthias Simon. He's got one over here. If we could solve the tight end position, maybe two, then we don't necessarily need a true wide receiver need a true number one wide receiver, just another like Elijah Moore. You know what? I agree. 2 tight ends I have my eye on, and I've talked about this. Not everybody agrees with me, but I definitely would go after Dalton Schultz, tight end from Dallas. they're going to have difficulty franchise tagging him because they're like 24, 26 million over the cap. And I think the tight end cap is like 10.6 mil or something. So they're really going to have to work some magic in order to be able to swing that franchise tag to lock him up. So there's a possibility he may end up walking if he doesn't get tagged within the next couple weeks. Another guy, I know a lot of people don't really agree with me when I bring him up, but Mike Gesicki. I just think Mike Gesicki, you put him in this offense, he's not really a great blocking tight end, but dude, he can catch the ball. He makes guys miss. He's a big target. I would love something like that for Zach Wilson, to know that he could go and he could find a Gesicki or even a Schultz go out that. I've said it. Score, and I'll say it again. We should draft the best tight end in the draft, whoever that might be. Okay? Well, we're going to need to do something, because I'm going to tell you something right now. If your tight end room consists of Ryan Griffin, Daniel Brown, and fucking Kenny Yeboah, and Tyler Croft, yeah, it's you failed. You failed somewhere. So Scott Cleese up in there, Kool-Aid drinking fuckhead. No, I'm not a Kool-Aid drinking fuckhead. I'm saying that oh my God, I think I'm gonna need ibuprofen after this fucking show is over if I got to keep listening to this guy's mouth and his shit. But I mean, look, Scott, we all know that you're not a fan of the 1-year show me deal. We know that you want Joe Douglas to stop being cheap, to go out there and to actually procure a bunch of talent. I get it. I get it. Your opinion is duly noted. But you know what? The Jets are going to have to pay the jet tax no matter what. All right, so Lowell Lichmore doesn't like Gesicki. Okay, at least not sure Yeboah got a fair shake this past season. Neither do I. I think the way that he was used in his place within the offense, I think, was a little bit confusing. So, all right, so Scott back in here. Not true,
Hey.
but let's go back and look at the things I say. I'm right more often than most people here, because most people think we're going to have a winning record, and I keep telling people the truth. Nobody said anything about having a record. All right, yes, listen. If Kevin Jackson and Jimmy Jardine were on the show right now with me, if this was actually the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, Weapons Hot, the New York Jets fan broadcast. By the way, shameless plug, Friday night every 7 p.m. on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. If you haven't liked or subscribed, I'd suggest you do so. It is a fun time, although Jimmy had to step away for personal reasons. But both Jimmy and Kevin predicted winning seasons last year for last season. Okay? I stayed away from a season predicting, because the only thing that I said was, go out there and don't fucking embarrass yourself. Okay? So, to me, am I expecting more this upcoming season? Yes, I am. You have to do better than 4 wins. Okay? Because if you have another 4-13, if you have another 4-13 fucking record, okay, 2 years in, there's going to be a problem. That means that you're not fucking doing what you're supposed to be doing.
You know what I'm expecting? I'm expecting at least 7 wins. You know what I mean? Around there, I'd be happy. That's a little bit of improvement. I don't.
True.
You know what I mean? But if we get less than 7, if it's 5, I'm gonna be like, all right. Yeah.
No, I think that look, the only way that the Jets are going to be a competitive football team, they're going to have to crawl before they run. And one of the things that I was screaming about, and Scott actually brought this up over here, if you could get that very last comment that he's got in here. You wanted a winning record in our division. Remind me again how that worked out, asking for a friend. Okay, well, I had said I didn't ask for a winning record in our division, but I felt like that one of Salah's goals last year was to go at least 3-3, go 3-3 in your division. Because the Bills, even though they're the top dog in the AFC East right now, they're still very beatable, as the Cincinnati Bengals showed you.
Let me reply to Thomas real quick. So Thomas said, nah, man, his playoffs are bust. 9 wins, fellas. No, I'm saying at least 7. So they can't be below 7, or it'd be like a disappointment in my eyes. Of course, I want to win more, but this got to be 7 or more for me. A little improvement here. You know what I mean? At least,
So-
at minimum, 7 wins.
JR, you have Florencio Rodriguez on your side right there. Regardless
That's
of
my
whatever
boy.
I agree.
what's
At
up?
least 7 wins is the bar. So,
Yep. That's the lowest.
So, all right. So we got a couple over here. We got 3 comments back to back from Scott Cleesby. I gotta get on. I gotta get these on. I killed them again and again. Okay, that was a smooth show drop, and of course, no double-digit wins. You're not gonna get double-digit wins from me because this team has not shown me anything to give me the confidence that I could sit there and say, yeah, they're very capable of getting double-digit wins. No, they're not capable of getting double-digit wins. We've seen last year that this team can play hard from whistle to whistle. That's good. You've seen some progress. Now build off of the progress that you had last year and start turning some of those losses where our defense didn't show up or our defense spent 70% of the time on the field and our offense couldn't pull its head out of its ass long enough to take a deep breath. Let's fix all of that. Let's have a nice balance. Let's have a nice balance of offense, nice balance of defense. Have our defense be consistent. Have our offense be consistent. Lo Lichmore firing off at Scott Cleesby. This has got to be the fight of the night. We need to steal. Most people don't think we'll have a winning record. Stop making things up. You anticipate a bad franchise doing bad things isn't a reach, and you shouldn't pat yourself on the back because of it.
Ouch. That's a jab right there. That's a jab.
Dude, he unleashed a fucking tomahawk on Scott right there. I gotta give Lowell props right there. I do. I gotta give Lowell props. So, all right. All right. I think I covered Matthias Simon up in here. If Zach plays good, the Jets should win 8 to 9 games. True, but it's also going to take the Jets' offensive line actually protecting him, so that way he actually can go out there and get the ball to his weapons. Because
and everybody stay healthy.
Yeah, and everybody staying healthy. That's a key thing. So, I mean, hey, look, there's always going to be the issues going off. Now, one of the things that I want to go really quick, I just want to touch on some offensive linemen because I know the right side of our offensive line needs some massive help. All right, just a couple of names out there that I want to throw. Trenton Brown, 28 years old from New England. He's an unrestricted free agent. He made $9 million last year. Would you take a flyer on him?
Tell you the truth, I don't know. You asking the wrong person. To be honest with you.
I don't know. Maybe. I do agree with Florencio. They'll bring back Laurent Tardif Duvernay to LDT. So Laurent Duvernay Tardif. So he had the
Jesus.
D in, yeah. Or should I say Dr. LT, Dr. LDT.
Hey, maybe Lowell knocked him out because I ain't seen Scott comment.
He's probably thinking of something right now. There's Jermaine Afidi. He's 27 out of Chicago, 4.2.5 million. Carl Falk, if you're still listening to the show, you're still a part of the broadcast. Give me your thoughts on the right tackle from Chicago now facing free agency. So Carl is our resident Chicago Bears fan. He does like to tune into the show. I do appreciate.
Here we go.
Okay, stop. You defend every post saying the Jets are great. They're my team. Stop yet another Kool-Aid drinker who have no idea what talent actually looks like. Keep talking low. Maybe once in the next 10 years you might be right. Go get all of your green glasses wearing fools to back you up.
Yeah, he came out swinging.
Oof.
So was
Scott Gillespie with the scud in response to the tomahawk. Wow.
Can't we all just get along? Come on, guys. We're all Jet fans here.
Oh, we can't. Of course not. Come on. There's so much
I
jet
know.
on jet crime. All right, Matthias Simon up in the chat right here. Our offensive line was 13th in the NFL last. Should be able to improve this line with another good starting offensive guard. I
That's
completely
not that
agree.
bad.
So
Yeah.
the question is that if you for the 13th overall, all right, we still have a couple positions where we still need to improve. The entire right side of the line, in my opinion, still needs to be upgraded in backups. And still the biggest question mark is going to be Mekhi Becton. What is going to be the state that Mekhi Becton is going to come back to? You know, is he going to be 100% healthy? Is he going to be able to start delivering pancakes and stuff like he did during his rookie season, you know, in the wide zone blocking scheme? So it's a lot of the offensive line success is going to be pinpointed again. Unfortunately, it's going to be on the shoulders of Mekhi Becton and AVT. And, you know, I still think Lowell is back in here. You'll never see me say they're great. Again, stop making things up. You use that Kool-Aid line every week. I'm a Jets fan. Whose Kool-Aid should I drink? The Patriots? Wow. Yep, we also lost that. We also lost depth. We lost Cameron Clark. Yeah, another draft pick that didn't turn out to be shit. But oh man. Becton might just have to move over to right tackle. You know what? That actually might not be a bad idea. If they do move him over to right tackle. I mean, but that all depends. I mean, look, he's going to have to compete with George Fant for that job. No doubt about it. No doubt about it that he's going to have to, because it is just it. He lost that job. He's going to have to win it back. Plain and simple. So that's the way that I feel about it. So now another guy out there that we could look at Matt Gono. He's a tackle. He's 25 years old from the ATL, making $3.3 million. He's somebody who they could take a look at. Try Turner from Pittsburgh, 28. He was making $3 million as he's an unrestricted free agent. So there are a couple of other guards. We've got an Ethan Posick from Seattle, who they could look at. But really, to be honest with you, here's a name here too, from the LA Chargers, the old New York Jet, Ode Abushi, 30 years old. Would you take a flyer on him for $1.5 million? I don't know.
I would pass. I'd pass. I know it's chump change. I would pass.
Lowell Litchmore, why haven't you blocked this douchebag yet, CJ?
Because he gives us he follows.
Because he is incredibly entertaining, and even though he likes to spew his hate, he's
what we call
Scott's
a loyal
opinion
listener.
right. Scott's opinion is in fact, although sometimes his friggin' his takes is sometimes off the wall, but he's just. Question: what do you think of McGovern as offensive guard? If they drafted Linderbaum, the OL would be fixed. You know what? That might not be a bad idea. I mean, McGovern didn't.
Man, they're getting deep out here. All right, what's
point on the offensive line. So, I mean, Connor McGovern. I don't know. Unless you can find an upgrade at his position, then you keep McGovern where he's at. If you end up drafting Linderbaum, then you could switch him to guard, and then your problem would be solved. I do agree with Matthias, but then the question is, do you bring back Feeney as a insurance policy if God forbid Linderbaum goes down? So, I like this one, and CJ knows why I'm usually right a lot of the time. Well, the reason why you're right a lot of the time is because there's not much to be wrong about with this fucking team, Scott. You know, look, I mean, I get it.
Yes, we suck. You're right.
I mean, Jesus Christ, a broken watch is even fucking right twice a day. Shit. But I mean,
That is.
look, now the areas that I would address obviously offensive line. I would also address defensive line. We definitely have to look at the linebacking position. So, I mean, we are gonna look at cornerback. We are gonna look at safety. Some people have asked whether or not LaMarcus Joyner would possibly be back or not. That's still a question to be seen. We still have the situation with Marcus May. I don't think Marcus May comes back. I mean, there could be a possibility that maybe Joe Douglas reaches out to Marcus May and says, you know, look, I mean, we can let you walk, but with the DUI and all the other shit you have going on, you know, you're probably not going to get more than what you made last year on the franchise tag. So, I mean,
Right.
it is, yeah, it is what it is. But
Well,
yes, Scott, we know that you're the resident gambler and you've made a lot of money off the picks that you made. Good for you. We know that. So, but anyhow, dude, I'm telling you, we need a steel cage match. Scott Cleesby, Lowell Lichmore. Get your
Hey.
popcorn ready. Let's go. Bang.
I got a plan, CJ. I tell you what. How about we have them both come on a show next week and have a debate?
I would absolutely love that.
Hey, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. So, both Scott and Lowell, if you
The
guys
challenge
are
is out.
available next week, for an appearance on Mission Briefs, we will make this happen. We will have the debate. You two could square off. I could tell Cleesby to go fuck himself multiple times. So, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Place your bets, people. Place your bets.
That's it, man. So we got to reach out to them after the show. Let's make this happen.
Oh, definitely.
Let's make this happen, you guys.
Yep,
So-
definitely.
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, so as far as free agency is concerned, again, we've got to keep ourselves from getting so excited about going out there, getting those shiny new toys, and then, you know, we blow our wad in free agency, and then we go in the draft, and then all of a sudden we now have a mismatched puzzle we have to try to piece together. I think Joe Douglas, again, has a strategy. I know that a lot of people are not crazy about, including the Scott Cleesbys of the world, not crazy about the one-year prove-it deals. But right now, with the Jets being a struggling franchise, you're going to have to overpay to bring some significant talent in here. I think they may look to acquire someone. I think that Douglas has got a few tricks up his sleeve that he's going to significantly improve this roster for next year, because I keep saying this. I've said this for the past couple of weeks. I'm going to continue beating this drum until somebody proves me wrong. Both he and Robert Saleh put themselves on blast at the end of the year press conference when they said that 6 wins in 2 years is unacceptable for this franchise, and they need to do better. I don't know what more anyone else needs to hear than that. There is nothing more that anyone out of the New York Jets organization can say other than, you know, somebody's wife is giving out free blowjobs in the parking lot, okay, to make the fans happy. Just
Damn,
can't.
CJ.
I mean, it's like sometimes it's when you take a look at some of the takes that are out there, and look, I love you fans, I really do, I adore you guys, but some of you guys are just straight up fucking nuts with the takes that you have. But I'm not going to tell anybody how to root for this team, just like I don't want anybody telling me how to root for this team. Okay, so I acknowledge the opinion. I love the opinion. I want the opinion because I love going back and forth with people about it to give them. I want to know, why do you have this opinion? What is it that brought you to this opinion, other than the post-traumatic stress disorder of being a Jets fan for 40 plus years, or 50 plus years, or 30 plus years, or 20 years, whatever. 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I feel sorry for anybody who's been a fan of this team in the last decade because you haven't seen shit.
Yeah, my 13-year-old son.
So, look, I mean, we got to. It's the time now that, this is a new era of Jets football. They have to turn the corner. The onus is on the franchise to start making this team more competitive, more of a much better product on the field for fans to watch, that pay their hard-earned money to go to that go to MetLife, pay the money to tailgate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So Matthias Simon's comment, I want to get that back up there. Where we draft 4, 10, 36, 38, et cetera. The draft is deep at wide receiver and offensive line. I think this makes edge rush a number 1 draft need. I just have a feeling that if, in regards to the number 10 pick, and again, I'm not really like, I don't want to go too much into the draft yet because we still haven't gotten through free agency yet. But I really could see a scenario in which one of 2 things happen with that number 10 pick. One, there's a pass rusher that falls into the Jets' lap at 10. 1. Or 2, they trade out of 10 for a king's ransom. And you can address multiple needs in a very deep in a very deep draft. So Matthias Simon, thank God I saw a Super Bowl winner. I would have jumped by now. So at least you got to see one. So far,
Jeez.
I've seen
How old was
5
he?
AFC Championship game appearances and still have yet to come away with a victory. So I'll be happy with the Super Bowl appearance. I'm not greedy. I'm really not. Just get me there. We'll worry about that after we get there. Just get to the fucking Super Bowl. All right. Ray Burgess in the chat. Sauce or Garrett Wilson. I don't know, man. That's tough. That's like splitting hairs, dude.
I'm going to go with that sauce.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with that sauce. Johnson also a 10. So Jermaine Johnson also a 10. Okay. That's exactly what we should do. Trade down. I'm glad someone's in agreement with me. Now, I don't want to I'm not going to put a bank on it where, like, yes, I want the Jets to trade out of 10 and so on and so forth. But I could tell you, if you have a team that's needy, that wants to come up to where the Jets are at 10 because they have a player that they like, and you could bend somebody over a barrel to get that number 10 pick, do it. Do it. So, in my best Emperor Palpatine voice that I can muster right now. Do it. You do it. You go on, take the money and run. Joe Douglas will roll up in there with the 45 in the ski mask and say, "Give me your money, motherfucker."
You can do it.
Exactly. All right. All right. So you know what we're gonna do? We got a couple more. You know what? Let's run till 8:45. Let's do that. So
I can do that. And for those that missed the intro, I got a special outro for y'all, which was the intro. So stay tuned.
Yeah, can't wait for that. It's gonna be awesome. Let me tell you, JR does just great work. Props to you, my friend, for producing the show tonight, man. I can't thank you enough for me out with this. Let me tell you.
All good, brother. I'll be here every Tuesday.
Amen. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be something special. I believe it. I really do. There's a handful of teams that need a quarterback. Will definitely have trade options. Tommy Gutman. Yeah, I think so too. I think that there are a lot of teams out there that have needs. So there always is the opportunity for the Jets to come out. My draft people are coming out of the woodwork now. So All right, Matthias Simon again. If the Jets draft Kayvon Thibodeau at edge, Oregon at 4, does that make it easier to trade down at 10? I don't know. Because if Linderbaum for some reason is at 10, do you pass? That would be tricky. If the Jets have a really good trade offer on the table, but Tyler Linderbaum is sitting there at 10, do you take the trade? Do you take Linderbaum? That's the question. That's the question right there. But I don't know. There's stuff about Kayvon Thibodeau that scares me. I don't know. I've heard some things so far in the scouting report. He gives up on plays. Sometimes he's just not. He over pursues. I don't know, man. It's just it's crazy. Good question. Like Linderbaum. A lot of people like Linderbaum. So Lowell Lichmore up in the chat. He's still firing missiles at Cleesby there. So I'm a fan. So because I'm a fan, you win money. Dumbest thing I've heard today. Wow. I'm telling you, we need to get both of them on the show. We definitely need to have a debate session. We really do. All right, Ray Burton over here at 4. Need a blue chip prospect. I'd rather have Hamilton than Tibbs. I'm kind of leaning toward the direction of Hamilton as well. So I'm kind of leaning toward that too, because just the more and more, I don't know. There's going to be so much shit that's going to be thrown into the ether there, JR, in regards to the draft. That's why I'm trying not to pay too much attention to it right now, because, like I said, like free agency hasn't even started yet. Let's get through the first, second, and third waves of free agency before we can really turn our attention on the draft. That should be fun. But Ray Burgess does have a couple of good comments over here. Talked about the blue chip prospect. At drop for wide receiver or take Sauce. I don't know. I kind of like the Sauce, man. I keep seeing it's like the third time I've seen Sauce tonight, so I don't know. Got to be something about the Sauce.
There's something in the sauce. There's definitely something in it.
Got to be something in the sauce. All right. So 8:42. We're coming up against it. Let me get some final thoughts, and then we're gonna rock and roll. First off, I want to thank everyone who was in the comments tonight. My number 2 out there, Natasha Lesh, if you're still listening, which I'm sure you are, thank you again for tuning in every single week. Thank you so much for being such a great fan. I just cannot thank you enough. Shout out to Ray Burgess, Matthias Simon, Lowell Lichmore, Thomas Gutman, Scott Cleesby, Carl Falk, everyone who was in the chats tonight for putting your 2 cents in. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Tonight's going to be special. Now, also another thing, too, as I want to add on to my final thought segment, Weapons Hot now has a new Twitter handle, at Weapons Hot Show on Twitter. Plain, simple, easy. If you're following at CNC Jets Factor, switch on over to at Weapons Hot Show. I'm going to leave CNC Jets Factor up probably for the next month. March 31st, gets shut down. So you guys got a month. Of course, be sure to, if you're on Twitter, be sure to follow the new Twitter handle. If you guys have any questions, be sure to message us. We'll help you guys out. So don't forget to catch that. You can follow me on Twitter at CNC Jets. You can follow me on Twitter at JetsFan0523. My partner in crime, who is not here this evening, is Kevin Jackson at Spotty Blackman. Also, honorable mention to our XO, who is doing his thing right now, Jimmy the Reaper Jardine at Jets by Jimmy. Shout out to Matthias Simon and Thomas Gutman. Just a couple more comments that I want to jump on there. And, of course, Ray Burgess as well. There are wide receivers in this draft like George Pickens, wide receiver out of Georgia, Alec Pierce, wide receiver out of Cincinnati, that would really make the Jets wide receiver core better without going wide out early. Interesting. So all those little draft nuggets, Matthias, keep sending them out, because let me tell you, as we get closer and closer to the draft, we're going to be talking about all of that stuff. Shout out to Ray Burgess. Great job, boys. Tommy Gutman, due to all the multiple-year contracts we've got in our free agency last season, and they all went injured for the first year. That's why I say 1 year, earn your next contract. Dude, I'm right there too. And plus on top of it, because the Jets are such a struggling football team, no one is going to come here. No one's going to just come here and just say, yeah, you know what, of star caliber. And Joe Douglas is going to look at them and is going to tell them, this is what I think the market value is. This is what I think you're worth. This is the contract we're going to offer you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we go from there. So it's going to be interesting. You know, Joe Douglas wants guys that are going to come here and they're going to work hard. They're going to work to make the Jets great again. And we'll see what happens. That's it. I mean, last year left me with this season being encouraged. Was I happy about the result from last year? No. But did I see some things that I liked, and do I think that we can build on some things? Yes. One of the things most of all is that the players have a head coach that they feel like that they believe in and they buy into that system. That's number one. Number two, players play hard, and I did not see anybody giving up on players throughout all 17 games of the season, regardless of how much they were getting their asses kicked or how much they were kicking ass. So that mantra, that foundation has already been laid. And guys that are going to come in, they're going to know that that's what's expected of them. So hopefully, for the guys that are coming in, they can pick up after the guys that are already here and, again, continue to work hard, continue to play competitive football, and, again, continue to have this franchise pointed in the right direction. It's still going to be – it's still a work in progress. Now, again, when it comes to free agency, 2 weeks out. Keep your eyes open. There's going to be a lot of information, a lot of misinformation, a lot of rumors. Don't get caught up in the bullshit. Make your own decision, and don't rely on Dick Cimini, Connor Hughes, Brian Costello, Ian Rappaport. Do your homework. Do your homework. That's all I'm saying. All right? So, shout out to Matthias Simon, Scott Cleesby, Lowell Lichmore. They're still going back and forth with everybody. This is a great group other than Lowell and Scott wanting to beat each other up. Dude, that's every week, but I love it, though. And you know what? I admire the both of them. I admire the both of them for their passion. So, and you know what? That's all you can ask. Now, again, real quick, you can follow the show on Twitter. We have 2 handles right now. At CNC Jets Factor, only until March 31st. The new handle is at Weapons Hot Show. You can follow me at JetsFan0523. My partners in crime on the other side of the glass. Mr. Kevin Jackson at Spotty Blackman. Jimmy the Reaper Jardine at Jets by Jimmy, getting an honorable mention. Weapons Hot. 3 ways to consume Weapons Hot. Every Tuesday night here on Jets World. Weapons Hot Mission Briefs, where you guys are right now. And I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. I love you guys so much. Friday nights at 7 p.m. on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. It's Weapons Hot, a New York Jets fan broadcast. Okay, be sure to go to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Click the like button, hit the notification. Every time we go live, you'll get a notification. You'll get a ping. All right? So go ask too. She'll tell you. All right? So on Friday nights, this upcoming Friday night, which is going to be awesome, Weapons Hot After Dark on YouTube. That's our YouTube channel. If you haven't already liked and subscribed to the content that's up there, please do so. Trying to get to 250 followers. I think so far we finally just broke 200 recently, but we've been stuck. If you know anybody who's interested, you just want something you want to laugh at, it's a grand old time. It's basically the uncensored version of the Worldwide Sports Radio Network show. But we always have a good time over there. Weapons Hot After Dark does not disappoint, and we always have a blast. So, with that, JR, come on the screen there, my buddy.
Hey.
Come on now.
I'm like Batman. I don't want nobody to know my real identity. You know what I mean? Now let me get in here. What's going on?
There you go. That's my man right there. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the producer of the night, Mr. JR Garen Brower Jr. kicking ass and taking names every single week. Not only helping out with Weapon Top Mission Briefs, he also helps out with live rounds, and he also helps out with the Jets Guru. Shout out to Mr. Daniel Smith for making all of this happen. Dude, you're the man, brother. You are the man. We love you.
So my pleasure.
JR.
That's how much I love the New York Jets. I'm willing to spend a little bit of my time to help y'all look good.
That's
That's
it.
why I'm
We
here.
appreciate you. Yo, you got to get this one right over here. All right, my girl number 2 there is Go JR right there. Woo!
Thank
That's
you.
my boy. All right, so for Garen Brower Jr., this is CJ the Painkiller D. Simone signing off for tonight. We will see you guys when we see you guys. Peace, love, Go Jets. Weapons Out of New York Jets fan broadcast 7 p.m. Friday night. Lunch. After party. Out.